mind here. A good motivating factor nonetheless. I know that when you speak to these teams, sometimes they'll only admit it in private. Other times they will tell you, you know, full-throated on an interview, oh yeah, we absolutely want to end a team's season. Could that be the case against Luminosity? We'll see.
Yes, we will. Now note that Monty is not banned in this matchup, nor is the Asami. Those are two very useful operators on this map, I would say. In Brazil, where Park and I, we've been casting it for most of the season, well, all of the season, I guess I should say, we see Monty either banned or played every single match. It is incredible. Hasn't had the same effect in North America or Europe to that same degree, but it's still a good operator. But I think Fish just full sent it out a door or window somewhere. Okay, Torrated with him. He dies as well. Solus for Doki betrayed. Honestly, in this particular scenario of Skyscraper T defense, I think Fish has made a pretty good trade here. The roam clear is now more difficult. You can hack the cameras. There are that many cameras in the ball. 2 bulletproof cameras at least. So pretty good start. Not a great middle round though.
Now Snake punishing Newers, who's playing over by Office. Newers was very happy to take that engagement. There's a dock on the board, but can't do much to bring either Fish or Newers back from the dead. Pocket EMPs were what Eddie had as well, and Dream wants to take a fight again. He could have very easily fallen off that spot. This is 3 separate instances where OXG have opted to just bring the heat to Luminosity. Instead of playing safer, instead of playing sheltered. Had 3 players off site, a 4th now off site in Yaga, who could be next in line. LG greeting these players by OXG, making them pay for it. LG in a 4v2 with Yaga now, as we talked about, the one currently under watch by Drum. Oh no.
Timing.
Gets droned out. Twitch is silent, also had a good read on him from the end of the hallway. Foxay has 2 players lined up in this spot, but now has to watch Geisha. He has to watch that karaoke wall, while also now watching the T-wall. Foxay taking out Twist. Looks like Yaga's the one credited with that one, but now Yaga will have to save the round as Foxay dies. Silent picking him off. Silent holding the diffuser, not just having 3 kills, but also getting the ejective play. Yaga heralding his entrance from backstairs, taking down Snake, but it's too tough of an angle as Silent picks up his 4th kill. Excellent start to this map by LG.
Very puzzling round, half a single time, and well, they lost 5-7 to Mirage. Not a bad loss by any means, but not a very confident showing either, where we can say, okay, phenomenal Skyscraper team of OXG, right? So LG happy to go here, not a big surprise. It was their choice to go to Skyscraper specifically. They had that final map ban. And I mean, you start attack because you choose the map, fair enough, but you're ready for it, you're prepared for it. So LG getting that first round very confidently and in quick pace and shutting down Fish's spawn peek attempt as well. It's all good. And LG, they can start on the upper hand. They can, you know, get mentally back from their loss earlier in Oregon and just get into a good mood here, if you will, because the mental side is very important. But our eyes, they're always going to be an OXG. They're the team who realistically should just be taking this and having a great showcasing this matchup, a better read and grasp on this game currently. Big changes here from OXG, however. I was going to talk about how, you know, to hold the gauge, you can play the Bandit. Foxy loves to play this particular operator. Round number 2, it's gonna be Office, sure enough. We do see Foxy on that Fable Bandit operator. Fish still in that intel down below. But Snake, with a cheeky Bravo drone, finds the battery, finds the bulletproof camera. So already now, valuable intel from a single Bravo drone here. 3 for 3. And it survives.
Stark contrast to what we saw in the very previous matchup, where I pointed a finger at Brava being a suboptimal pick given the lineup for the defenders at the time. That was Space Station. Rampy was rocking the Brava. I don't really think there are a lot of bad opportunities to bring Brava, but I do think that there are certain times where there are operators who bring better tools to deal with your opposition. I also will add that as a play-by-play commentator, I'm not even, you know, credible enough to do color commentary, let alone coach or play at this league. That's why I defer to you in that regard. Snake kills Newers. Newers is it getting a bit too aggressive again? And Fish wants to take a fight over by Samurai. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, normally the way we see this map play out, especially in Brazil, is that you just have like 1 or 2 places as a defender that you want to fight. That's where Fish and Yak are currently in this dragon statue position. You stay there, you set up your crossfire, and if any attackers come, you fight them happily. But OG keep losing members in a position where I'm like, where and how are they dying? Because they shouldn't really be happening or dying in those positions. So now LG, they get that first difficult area. What happens? They just run straight through them.
Oh, wow. Silence saw that one coming. It was good that there was a cross there for OXG and Yaga. A Kludge drone that survived, gaining information. It spotted one player inside an office, Dream punishing it. There goes the drone. Advantage still favoring Luminosity again. The stakes for LG, if they want to shoot past Mirage in the standings, it needs to be about a 7-2, 7-3 victory in order to guarantee their spot. Most maps we find these days have a defender-sided lean. And it's actually working against Luminosity, as you can see right now. 1 pick for them, but OXG gets 2 back. 20 seconds remaining, and, well, Fox A and Dream, whether they got the down or not, work together to stop what looked like an LG round from transpiring. OXG prevail on their second defense.
The round is kind of backwards because the things that are supposed to be difficult, like clearing Dragon Statue, was incredibly easy and quick for LG. And the thing that's supposed to be easier afterwards, the bomb set itself with the 4 versus 2 advantage, was incredibly hard. They were entirely locked out, and yeah, some great shots hit by Foxy and Dream, who was just like the last 2 defenders alive. But still, when you got 4 members upright, it almost seemed like LG were not trying less, but they're definitely being more sloppy about it. Individual players just trying to take those individual gunfires, not relying on drones or crossfires or 2 guns in the same direction. And it's a little, you see here, Asian, he gets this great kill, but then he overswings the bandit, dies to his death because the entire wall is opened up by Asian himself. And then again, Foxy and Dream, they pick up 1 each, back to that 2 versus 2, and that's when the real round starts for LG. And they're, of course, just walking through a door, not knowing where the last defenders are, and they, of course, just kind of fall over. So, very confusing first 2 rounds so far, where it seems like the team that has the advantage doesn't actually have the advantage, and it just kind of flips in the middle of it. Kind of want to see would love to see a Monty round from LG before they side swap. It's only round number 3, just because I think the stability that Monty could bring to their attacks could be something they could benefit from, really. It's great for the roam clear, great for their plan, great to break all those great defensive setups by the defense, and there aren't all that many counters to it. Yeah, C4 below is always gonna suck, but there are so many areas in Skyscraper where you're not exposed to soft floor below you, so could be the key forward in the future rounds.
Those mid rounds from OXG are going to need to be better in the mid round now, as history really does repeat itself. Luminosity gets 2 very early picks. Dream, the only one on the board for OXG, trying to keep these numbers close. This is a heavy offsite presence for OXG, defending this kitchen and barbecue bomb site. Luminosity losing the Nomad, but OXG losing the Solus and the Azami. Those are 2 of the strongest operators in the game right now. It's not exactly the start that I'm sure OXG wanted, but hey, neither was the previous round, and they still ended up coming out ahead. Pardon my hiccup, by the way.
You're excused. Not only the uppers that you lose, but also just how easy this is for LG. They sprint in the building in 10-20 seconds time, just pick up 2 kills with confidence. That's gonna make you a little bit scared on the defensive side, because normally that would never happen. You're supposed to be safe in those areas. You got the goo mines, you got, the default cameras you can watch, you got Fish with the soulless scanner who can see where the drones are as well. But the defensive half from OXG, very much alive. The anchors who are just sitting in these individual rooms and holding on for their dear life, finding success time and time again. And Fox is still in it, and so is Stream. They cost a 2v4 last round, and this time they even have Yogg with them. But it's 3v3 round with a minute to go. And LG, they still gotta strike first.
Well, you got the hard breach down, so I guess that's a pretty good start. Bad game for Twist up to this point. 4 of Silence 5 kills, if I remember correctly, coming in that very first round. It still makes the numbers look pretty nice. 30 seconds to go as the diffuser is shuffled around, now into the hands of Eddie. It doesn't look like Luminosity has the wherewithal to clear out that top floor. Smoke's going off into the bomb site. Eddie trying to get a plant down, but struggling. Now it's Snake taking the heat to OXG above. Gets 2 picks on both Dream and Yaga with diffuser down. Foxay has his work cut out for him. Again, OXG just having so many players off site. It allows LG to take up all the map control so quickly. Nice play by Foxay. Sees one, both. A third to be found, but Snake was playing above. Can Foxay pull this one off? Snake shoots him through the wall, knowing there's only one place for him to be. It's as close as you can get without actually getting there. Foxay does not get the job done. Excellently played by Snake to get those final 3 picks and then ultimately win the round after his team had gotten the diffuser down.
It's actually such a good attempt from Fox. You know, didn't really look winnable at all, but then he brings it from a 1v3 all the way back down to a 1 versus 1. But the execute from Luminosity, that's where the real story is, because it looked kind of hopeless from them in a 3 versus 3. You know, defenders, they got all the top floor in their control. They can see the bomb side. They don't have the best intel, and that's what LGD abused. They toss out 2 smoke grenades. They plant in the middle of that smoke. And then while that happens, we see Saw Snake sprint up a staircase and pick up both of those players who are looking down through the softest part of the floor to try and kill the planter. And then, yeah, as I said earlier, the heroical attempt from Foxay. But then he gets wallbanged with, what, 3 seconds left? He gets off the timer as well, though, so it wouldn't have mattered in terms of time. But very close rounds, despite a very one-sided beginnings to most of them. But I can definitely tell frustration kind of becoming a trend for OXG. Things are not really going according to game plan here. And again, they need to align the troops here on what they want to accomplish. We keep seeing Fish and Newers die in the first 20 seconds with little to no support from their teammates. And there's no counterplay really happening. So either Fish and Newers gotta slow things down, or you gotta get Yogg, Foxy, or Dream further up into the offense and assist them on those initial gunfights. Because you can't play 3v5 every single round and actually expect to win the majority of them. That's why we see a down 1-2. Small changes can get them very far. Love the bandit for Foxy, and I mean, with the gun skill on the MP7 we saw last round, let's see, why not just play bandit for the gun at this point, you know? Go crazy. Of course, Fenrir shares that same weapon, but the wall deny on Skyscraper mighty fine. It just delays the attack incredibly a lot, forces out grenades and secondary MPs and all that good stuff.
Seems like a lot of those early roams by OXG are unsupported, which I know some teams do favor. Laxing's talked about this at length on the desk, and I mean, he is an OXG alumni, so I mean, he knows this team better than everybody else, at least any of us. You're playing to waste time, you're playing to waste utility, but if you're dying early consistently, the way that OXG is doing, and while they don't have first blood in any of these rounds, they have been able to trade back very quickly. So despite the fact, as you point out, that they lost somebody early on, OXG is still making these rounds very competitively. The mid to late round for OXG is absolutely their strongest. Imagine how this scoreline can change if over the next 3 rounds, OXG's defenses a little bit safer. We're already at the halfway point of the round, and nobody from OXG has lost a single point of HP. None of those stim pistols used from the dock either.
Yep, I think they got the read on it. I think they too figured out that sometimes doing nothing is doing something, is what I like to say, because the sheer aspect of staying alive and being on the round makes a huge difference. It's having more guns, more angles to deny, more things to cover, more teammates to play around. And now we see Foxy, because he's not needed elsewhere to assist the roamers, he can just sit there and bandage trade the Geisha wall and deny the breach from LG. That they only have 1 Selma left, they have 1 EMP in pocket of Eddie downstairs, but they're gonna start having to do other things because time is very quickly slipping away from them. So this single bandage trick has stalled like 30 seconds and denied any point of entry, and Foxy somehow is still alive despite the cover. And he's dead.
You said that, and literally as your sentence finished, Eddie was the one who put the punctuation point on it. Look at what he's accomplishing with this sidearm. Ian's silent, putting in significant work, and now leaves OXG to retake the bomb site. This is a familiar site for them. This is exactly what they had to do the last time they went here. LG started this map off by doing essentially what they've done again. Fish walking up the stairs, going towards Drum. He dies. LG, the perfect lockout with the diffuser down. That's 3 of 4 rounds where Luminosity's been able to plant the diffuser. They've won every single one of them. That one, after we sung their praises for their mid to late round, was not particularly close whatsoever for OXG.
I mean, it just happens out of nowhere. It looks like LG, they are locked out of the bomb site. They can't really get in. There are 5 defenders alive for the first time ever. And it's the easiest break of a bomb site that LG has done so far. It doesn't make sense. That should have been on paper the hardest round. And it wasn't even like a nade came from below and killed the crucial player position. No. LG did a 3-2-1. Here we go. Look, they had 2 flashbangs, 2 smoke grenades, 1 EMP in pocket. This was no utility game. This is just a synergized team that has a really good read on where the defenders are probably going to play at, and then all believing in that, let's go right now and just trust their teammates and play off one another. And they storm down OXG's bomb side. It looks almost too easy at this point, and I take back the multi point. If you can do that with just pure gunplay, you don't need the multi. Have another gun, just do the entry job like we see in these rounds. LG are very much impressing me with the entries, but I will also say, I think OXG can do so much more. This is an experienced roster of Oxygen. Foxy, he alone, he probably has more experience in terms of years and time and games played than the entire LG roster combined. So I do expect more from Oxygen, and I am very surprised we've not seen the Finner being brought up more, because with how LG are playing, what would you like in this game? Something to stop the entries. We're talking Ella Mines, Melusi Banshees, we're talking the Finner gadget, something that when the attackers walk in a doorway to the bomb site, they get negatively affected. That hasn't happened. We're still playing the Frost, and we're playing the... I like the Bandit, right? We're doing Frost and the Solus every single round, and they're not really necessarily getting much value done in these rounds. Sure, Yox on Thorn now, that gives you a sound cue if they walk in, but how often is a Razor Bloom gonna get a kill? That almost never happens. Oh boy. They're gonna go fast again.
So is she prepared for this? Answer says yes. Foxay strikes twice. Hazen gets one, traded out. LG now actually in a position I don't believe they've found themselves in the early portions of any of these rounds, which is at a disadvantage in numbers. You said they were going to go fast, but that was after taking a minute to ensure that they had everything lined up.
Yeah, and not everybody followed through either. Now, normally they all fully commit, but it was just Snake and Asian with... Quest was nearby-ish, but the second they died, he, stopped sprinting and went backwards instead. And it might have been that LG thought there were more people off-site for Oxygen, and the bomb site itself was very much vulnerable. But that's not the case. That backbone of Foxy and Dream, they're always holding down the bomb site every single round so far. They've yet to give that up. And LG very much are in a position where this is the one time they struggled last time. This bar position of Foxy, they couldn't clear it. They have no nades. They do have flashbangs and smokes though. But by opening up all these reinforced walls, they're only going to create more angles for the defenders to kill them from.
Well, in terms of kills, that's the best player for OXG now removed. Yaga heating up. 1 kill for him. More work will need to be done. Newer's searching for his first kill, given the role that he plays. That's not where he wants to find himself. Silent, 1 away from breaking double digits. Newer's attempting to greet these players on the stairs. Up office stairs, continue on, keep going. 30 seconds. Yaga punishing Silent, and there's Newers to finally get on the board. OXG again surviving a scare. They are perfect on this bomb site, but it's the only one they've been able to win so far. If they can capture a 3rd round in the first half, it will ultimately deny LG a chance to take over Mirage's spot. Just moments ago, Meepy had tweeted that he's the biggest OXG fan in the world, hoping that they can get 3 points, and then I'm assuming he can rest easy. OXG's almost there. 2 for 2 on Office. Where do they go for this final bomb site?
That is the question. Where do you go? You got options, but none of them really look all that pretty. Although I will say, last time we saw Barbecue Kitchen being played, it was an arguable clutch round from LG. The smoke plan with Snake rushing up above the back stairs, getting 2 kills, secured the round in that 3 vs 1 for them. But, if you're XG, you're not going to let that fly 2 times in a row. They got intel this time. It's Dream on the Echo. And give intel to both the roamers and the site itself, because the benefit of Echo is the Yokai are movable drones. Not like the Valkyrie Black Eye cameras. Once you put them down, they're stuck, or mostly stuck in that position. Yeah, you can pick them up, but they can't move on their own. Yokais, they hover around, jump to ceilings. Intel, there hasn't been much of it from OXG, so I like this small change from them. But LG, in a similar fashion, have changes of their own. Notably, the Osa and the Lion. Osa is kind of like a Monsieur Blitz. You know, you bring that shield you can walk with in your hands, give some intel, you're relatively safe, you can plant behind it, etc. But you still have a primary gun. Same gun as Thermite, the 5.56. Great stats on it. Thermite mains used to be, back in the day, before they were just plant people, they were pretty much gunners. Back in year 1, you breach a wall, run in and kill people. Nowadays, you just drone and plant. So the 5.56 does great damage there. All Thermite main with no. And for this particular attack and round, fortify the balcony. Normally it has no cover, no safe area. But with the Talon Shield put up, well, you can actually sit here now and just enjoy your angles and just get some intel.
Showing up the free cam now as it goes over top of Osa, walking on in. An odd sound. A Zofia on the board. Operator not in the meta at this point. Ash taking her spot in a lot of ways. Flores being played too. Sledge even coming in where need be. Maybe a Yana. But, I mean, you've got the Discover ability factor. You have those proximity concussions that get shot out. And then the soft destruction as well. One Talent Shield was down for the count as all those gas canisters are now thrown out. Yaga has none in reserve. Dream is dead. So you've got no gas canisters. You've got no nitro cells. And the Yokais cannot stop the plant. That is not a good position to be in for OXG. It's going to come down to fragging at this point. They eliminate Asian. Yaga gets on the board for that, trading out a lot of HP in the process. Snake almost falling for LG, which would have been a huge benefit for OXG. But Snake has the Talon Shield working for him, sitting at backstairs, waiting ever so patiently. Down goes Silent. OXG now in the lead in terms of numbers, but Twist has found a way in. Unfortunately, doesn't see Yaga. Luminosity, we're so close to being able to pull this off.
So close yet so far. The issue is all defense needs is Geisha control, and they never lost that part of the map, so the plan cannot go down from LG, but they can get the kills.
2 in a row. 30 seconds left. LG know what's at stake in this matchup. Fighting to eliminate OXG by a scoreline that has them go into the LCQ and not into open quals. Twisted attempted a plant. Now it's Eddie's turn to do that. Yaga thinks he has the wherewithal. Diffuser goes down, and both Foxay and Yaga are a little bit too slow. But damage can be done. There goes Eddie to Foxay. Most experienced player on Luminosity is the last one left, and that's Snake. Pulls his trigger a little bit too early, giving his position away. Vital information for OXG. All he really needs to do is waste time. Foxay's sweeping in on his right. He's hoping that Snake's attention will be elsewhere. Yaga overcoming the battle, and that's 3 rounds for OXG. The first half all tied up.
Defenders have disabled the
Heartbreak for Luminosity.
Yeah, a bit of a slow end there, but I mean, what a meme-worthy round that was. Foxay with the shotgun above cannot find the planter despite the yellow and the red ping and all the above. And then Yaga tapping with his 11 missing the entire bullet, all the bullets in his entire... Look at this! Like, he sees him, but the angle's all correct. And then Yaga missed like a whole magazine tapping away. It's just, they win the round. It's not critique in that way. It's just like these really funny small moments where it's like, it should be such an easy job, right? You got the yellow ping, you got the intel this time. It was such a battle. But one yokai that was actually alive did a lot of work for them. Those yellow pings is what stopped them from, you know, the attackers from being inside that barbecue bomb site the entire time. When Twist first walked in and he got shot basically through the wall, that was that same yokai that also yellow pinged him. And attackers, frankly, I don't think they realized that that was an issue. And Twitch was on the board last round in terms of operators, so if you had a Twitch drone alive or you're scouting on the bomb site for intel and found that yokai, all of a sudden that round plays out very differently.
Well, we've got confirmation now from the admins that with OXG winning 3 rounds, there is no way for Luminosity to play in the last chance qualifiers. The only path is through the open quals. That greatly benefits Mirage. So, Meepy, your faith in OXG has been rewarded. Now the next step for Luminosity is to win 5 rounds, because if they win less than 5 rounds, they'll finish last. That's not where you want to be. Good start, though, as Snake sees Yaga early on, first 30 seconds, and down goes the Dokkaebi. Dokkaebi was the first operator on attack that died in the first half. Very fitting that the same thing happens this time. And in particular, Yaga has just gotten better the longer this match has gone on, getting hugely impactful kills, a lot of which happen in the mid to late round. Lacking his gadgetry and lacking his prowess on attack will be a particular challenge for OXG.
Yeah, it's gonna suck for them. Of course, the calls make their own play easier. Hacking cams guarantee you intel. It's just all around a really bad time, to be honest. But I guess the saving grace is Dream on the floors. If you can clear out those deployable shields that we see Eddie playing on right now, Top Dragon, that's gonna speed up your attack and make it a lot easier to clear out that middle section of the map. But who's gonna become the entry now? Neuro's got nades, those are impactful. Dream's got the Flores drones, they're impactful. And Fox is the only hop breach. So it pretty much leaves Fish as the only true entry right now, unless you want to sacrifice using some utility in case you lose a gunfight. And this, you see this line in the floor right now, where the taggers are on one side, defenders on the other, and it's all up to the defenders to break that line completely. You also got Snake looking for a flank. This is what Solids is so good at. You see where the drones are, you see where the drones are, you can easily flank around to make a play. I don't think that's an angle. Yeah. Would have been cool though.
He was on drone though, so I don't think there was any way to possibly do anything about this. The first 5 rounds had these teams trading. Opening pick never really amounted to much. That obviously broke in the 6th round where OXG got on the board first. They won that round. Now it's LG doing the same in the 7th. The fact that there hasn't been any grievous errors from OXG after losing Yaga is quite impressive, but Snake is just punishing everybody. 3 kills for him. How about a flawless round for LG as the rest of the team gets in on it too? A little bit too little too late for their spot in the LCQ, but again, they don't want to finish 9th place. That's 4 rounds on the board for Luminosity.
Yeah, play it out, and if anything, let that be a showcase of just how good LG's attack were, even when down in numbers compared to OXG's opening attacking round. OXG were stuck on their own half of the map for the majority of the round, and the second they tried to break that awkward line in the middle, they got flawless, and it's over. LG, they would storm through that line and just pick up kill after kill after kill, and they trade off one another. Every single death from OXG happened with like 1.5 to 2 seconds gap in between it, with no follow-up and no successful gunfight whatsoever. So you allow defenders to like shoot a person, reload, shoot a second person essentially. Whereas when LG were attacking, there was just no room or time for that. They just went quick, 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 go, go, go. And that was it. Of course, OXG arguably a little bit more utility-based, playing the game the way people would argue the way you should do it, right? Drone every corner, bring out the Flores, clear the shield, drone again, yada, yada, yada. But they still get punished. Snake was hiding with Solid below that red staircase going towards lobby kitchen side, and he was on... and now he jumped out the window. Newers is having the worst game of his life right now. 1-7 on entry, the only set of grenades. He has not really found any meaningful impact against LG so far. And when Fish tried to get cheeky with these spawn peaks, he would die, trading 1-for-1. Snake, he just escaped it. He got the kill, jumped right back in, and he can now just sit and play passive on the gadget and not have to seek out gunfights anytime soon and still find tremendous value because he's soulless.
You never want to kick somebody when they're down, but Newers really hasn't had much of an impact whatsoever on this entire match. Nope. Like you said, not in terms of gadgetry, not in terms of kills. Can't say the same about Snake, who is a big loss for Luminosity as Fish walks in and picks up a kill just outside of kitchen. Snake and Silent combining for 23 kills, and almost all of those have happened in rounds won by Luminosity. So showing how hugely impactful those kills can be, not just in terms of numbers, because yeah, 23 kills is an, it's an eye popper, but 23 important kills that help you carry the round even better. Fish, after getting that pick as he walked into kitchen, is no more. LG, once again, gaining a numbers advantage in terms of players and can sit for the next 90 seconds quite comfortably on this defense and await the three remaining OXG players.
Yeah. And this exact same scenario OXG were in when they were defending, right? It's Newers and Fish dead early who are roaming on defense with the backline of Yogg, Dream, and Foxy alive, then like clutch some of those rounds. Same server and attack, but the issue is your backline and then clutching on attack, 3 versus 4, that's very difficult, you see, because you would like those grenades to be in play, the soft breach from the Ash to be in play. Instead, you got some flashbangs and hot breach, and that's really it. Yogg doesn't even have smokes. He's running secondary MPs on the gridlock, so OXG, they gotta hit their marks right now, or rather hit their shots, because it's the only real way throughout this round for them to win. And Silent, with 12 kills, as you mentioned, he's still alive. Ready to shoot back.
Calm before the calm, and now calm before the storm. There's Yogg to eliminate Twist. The advantage goes in OXG's favor very quickly. Eddie hunkered down inside of the site. A dread mine goes off for a brief moment. LG could pounce upon that. Foxy not looking the right way. Now there's Eddie as well to get the job done. Yago with his 10 kills in a 1v2. Silent looking to stat pad here, but Eddie takes the final kill away. 5 for Luminosity, and I believe that's the magic number to ensure that they don't finish in last place, meaning that they've secured their spot in 8th. East Coast, with those 5 rounds going in favor of Luminosity, East Coast will finish in 9th. We'll await admin confirmation on those details.
Well, at least they made up for their poor showing earlier, LG that is, and it kind of saddens me that I didn't see this kind of like firepower from them against Beast Coast. You know, they played Oregon earlier. It's like a very gun-reliant map where you gotta execute together, and the LG we're seeing right now would have definitely done good on Oregon. So maybe it's nerves or, I don't know what it is, but it is a different LG between their first and second game, which shows they can bounce back after a disappointing performance, but they also failed to show up when it arguably mattered a little bit more for them. OXG, with that round loss, have taken their tactical timeout to talk about what the possible changes could be. And honestly, if I'm them right now, I mean, this is one of those really like stupid things to say. It's like, we need Newers to get some kills, right? It's like, it's not that simple, but we need to, as a team right now, OXG, they need to enable their injured players more. That could mean more drone work. It could mean to play Monty to allow him in. It could be to, play Jackal to red ping. But the issue is with Skyscraper, it's not really that the defenders are running around you a lot and making you confused as to where they are. It's simply that you're walking into tough to fight areas as an injured player, and you're honestly just not really put in favorable position. And if you don't have adequate information to assist you in those gunfights in the first place, you have little to no chance to succeed at that job. So OXG, they need to find success in the early stages of these rounds to have a chance to fight till the end of them in a realistic manner. I mean, in the previous round when they were down 3 versus 4, they did put up a good performance. They picked up that double kill onto Side and onto Dragon, but then again, they don't get to actually push in towards the bomb site itself. They're still shut out, and they kind of lose when it's chaotic. OXG are great when things are kind of composed and strategical, but when LG start doing all the chaotic funky stuff, that's when LG they kind of fall apart. Not again, not again.
Silence. Thought he had it well read, does not. I mean, why not take a chance at this point? There's no other result that Luminosity could have. I mean, they've got their 5 rounds. They're going to sit in 8th. I suppose that's it for them. Luminosity now, they are going to be playing without any stakes again, as we talked about. They have confirmed that they will not be playing in LCQ because Oxygen have won 3 rounds, but Luminosity, by winning 5, prevented themselves from finishing dead last. Why not have some fun with it at this point? Losing the Legion early on is never good. Losing those 13 kills from Silent, never good. The way he's been playing, hugely impactful for this team. 1 minute now off the clock. Everybody from OXG still upright
Great stop, but again, what can they now do themselves? That kill was granted to them by jumping out the window. Ocean still gotta pick apart the bomb site itself, and almost looks like they're gonna jump in to just hit you into and brute force it, but surely not, right? Surely not. Nate goes out to the trap, and yeah, Foxy goes right on in.
He's got the diffuser in hand, but I don't think they have what they need in the bomb site to get it planted. Foxy checking corners. He's got an opportunity to get that diffuser down, and he'll do that as the last remaining players from LG are isolated and cut off from the site.
Activating the diffuser.
Snake still lurking above. Fish, the only death for OXG. Things get difficult for Snake as he loses his only ally, and then he loses his life too. OXG's first successful attack comes on the tertiary bomb site of Barbecue and Kitchen, and that's 4 rounds on the board. They still trail LG by 1.
It was a pretty beautiful execute, like very clean, right? You just Nate the Frost Trap and Goomine, jump on in. The only thing they were clearly lacking was intel. Foxy couldn't just stick the plant immediately. He had to manually phase check a couple of corners and areas of the kitchen bomb site and stock room next to it before the plant could go down. So it's great that they do what they can with the utility, and they say, okay, we just simply cannot drone this area while also going in quickly. We'll just phase check it, and they do it together. It was greatly executed and synergized, and LG, pretty far off the bomb site, didn't have any real answers to it. And I think Snake impacted himself because he is half HP with no impacts in pocket, and there is teammate damage protection during prep phase these days. So someone made a silly mistake here, Mr. Snake. And they have no dock, of course. Oh, of course, right? You play dock sometimes, but not the round where you injure yourself or do damage to yourself in the prep phase. Classic.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Remember when Impacts first came out? This is a long time ago. This is back in, I believe it was back in year 1, but yeah, year 1 season 3, I believe Impact came out. Either way, long time ago. And it was very common that people would spawn and like immediately want to throw out their impacts, just like they immediately want to shotgun a wolf or rotate. And the amount of times you would hit like the entire team with an impact grenade, because back then there was no damage protection in prep phase, and you start the round by using either all your dock stims, because you played dock a lot back then, or with everybody at half health. It was quite the view. Quite the view.
I do like that change that we see, by the way. So now that friendly fire is turned off during the prep phase, I really wish it was extended to self-damage. I can't see a lot of circumstances where you would use a nitro cell or an impact to damage yourself strategically. I mean, obviously, if that change was in pro play, then Snake would still be at full HP instead of losing 60% of his health.
But if you want to throw games in ranked because your teammates are annoying and you can't see for yourself when the round starts, then you know what's the point? That's why it's still in the game.
I played 2 games in a row where my teammates just kept trying to kill each other over and over and over again. So,
okay,
an unpleasant experience, to say the least. But it happens to the best of us. Very quick round unfolding in front of our very eyes. Nick is a karaoke T defense for Luminosity. Outside of the damage that was done by Snake, there's been nothing else. Half of the round gone. E1D goes. Nades from below as well. Opening up kill holes into the site, but not able to hit any of the targets.
It is it's such an art to watch people cook grenades perfectly. To the point where you break the floor for visuals as well. Near's doing a great job. This red ping with the nade, perfectly cooked, gets the kill. That's gonna open things up because it's smoke off the table for LG, and it gives them access to this back staircase to attack the bomb set later on.
Logic bombs, nades, E1Ds. Well, tons of annoyances for Luminosity to overcome. They lost Twist early. Twist having a pretty miserable game, 1 and 8, especially on that smoke first casualty. That is not where you want to be on that operator. Now you lose the Fenrir of Eddie. Newer's on backstairs, having a pretty decent round, but his luck runs out after 2. LG keeping things close. Advantage still for OXG at this point in time. I don't think Asian realizes how close these silhouettes are. Lights up 1. Adeptly getting out of the way and repositioning towards the next kill hole. All the while, Dream getting the diffuser down. That's not the actual human, that's the outline. You're shooting at the armor. Asian cannot confirm the kill onto Fish. Of all the pressure of that diffuser now working against him, meaning that somebody might still be over in karaoke. There goes the wall, making a ton of noise in the process, but having limited information. Hopping on the diffuser, playing keep away with OXG. He's got Fish as his last target, but Fish gets in and punishes Asian right as he turns tail to head back into the site. OXG ties things up, both teams sitting at 5 rounds apiece. And I hope you understand that while this is my favorite round, I rewatched the broadcasts. Nick.
Oh no, you rewatched the broadcast? No.
I heard what you said.
Listen. It's what I said was valid because it's true. People don't know. Whenever we go to 5-5, Parker always says, "This is my favorite round of Rainbow Six Siege. It's the penultimate round because no matter what, somebody goes on match point." Always. And I like it, and that's true, and I fully agree with it. And Parker wasn't here for 2 games last week during the cast in was it NA or Brazil? Either way.
Brazil.
Yeah, I'm doing Brazil. So Lynx was standing in, and I made the joke because it happened and Parker couldn't say it, so I said it. I didn't think he'd rewatch the broadcast and find out, so now I'm a little bit in trouble here, but it's fine.
You didn't even say it in an endearing way. It was a tone of mockery. There was contempt in your voice.
It was said in a mockery way, it was, and that's because, when Lynx and I would get duoed up, we just it brings out the worst in each other, So I blame Lynx. I fully blame Lynx for this, actually. I take no responsibility.
Lynx is a real piece of work, let's be honest.
He
here.
is. I mean, whew.
He's the worst.
The best part about working remote is that we're not in the same room anymore every day, when working. Whew, that's the best part about it. Just for the Lynx part, that's. Guy's a handful.
More distance between him and us, the better.
Yep, amen.
10 seconds left.
Usually Flynn inhabits this role where we make fun of him, but now that he's actually back, there's like a bit of pity and guilt for making fun of him for all these years while he was in the literal Canadian wilderness.
Own a razor bloom.
And now he's back, and he has to work with Demo, and I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So now we make fun of Lynx.
Oh, man. I love Rainbow Six Siege and the talent members.
Well, it's all good fun. At this current point in the match, not that we want you to tune out, but the 2 things to watch for when we got this match started was Luminosity could not lose 3 rounds if they wanted to go into the LCQ. Well, as you can see from the scoreline, OXG have won more than 3 rounds, which means that Luminosity's hopes of fighting in the LCQ are gone. Mirage will be the team who does that. It means that Luminosity has to go into open quals. Whether they went in as the 8th seed or the 9th seed in the NA League came down to whether they could win 5 rounds. And as you can see again from the top of the scoreline, Luminosity have won 5 rounds, which means that Beast Coast's fate is sealed. They will finish in 9th place at the very bottom of the North American League. Luminosity will be above them, but not by much. So in this instance, for Luminosity, there really isn't that much that you're playing for from this point onward. You've hit that one break point that you needed to. OXG probably would like a win. They've won 2 rounds in a row, and Luminosity still taking it seriously. They called their timeout at the tail end of the previous round after OXG had won 2 in a row.
It's the good old OXG keep all 5 members alive here. They've doubled up on drone work. Yogg on the Twitch, Dream is still on Flores round by round. And they've done a great job of just progressing through the map in a pace that's acceptable. 1 minute 20 left, and they're about to hit that first issue. That dragon and drum situation. I'm taking control of a drum now. But what's next is where OXG usually struggles the most. It's to break this barrier of getting that opening kill and then getting a foothold in the upcoming rooms and then hit the bomb site afterwards. Got the Lions going to go out. Members will trade one of another. So just play together here. They should be having a good chance in this round. It comes down to gunplay.
Critical part of attacking this office site is Dragon, and that's where Silent has a beautiful shot as he removes Fish from the server. Lion cannot terrorize you any longer, and guess what? Silent's feeling it. 15 kills. Snake not far off with 14 kills. Silent gets away with his life intact. Now it's Eddie, next one up inside a Dragon. There goes Asian at the hands of Foxay. Not all hope is lost for OXG, but they're going to have to battle the clock. 3 players on OXG, 20 seconds to go. Foxay taking down Silent. Now it's Yaga to remove Eddie. Suddenly,
Attackers have recovered
LG in bad shape.
10 seconds remaining.
Snake gets on the board. Twist looking for more than a
5
single
seconds
kill.
to go.
You can have a lineup onto Yaga. Walking on through, there goes Twist. Yaga wins the fight. Snake hiding out. Past the point of no return. Snake, you gotta stop him. And he gets a kill, but it's ultimately lost as there's still 1 player left for OXG. Match point.
That was the most disgusting one tap that Yogg just hit on Twist on bar. He walked in, pre-aiming crouch still with a DMR, just one taps him, plants with 1 second left on the clock, right before they lose the round, and then they try and play it out, just prone, hide. Snake is playing it out. It gets the kill in the wrong, arguably wrong member, the cover, not the planter. It's a clutch round for OXG. And again, they did the thing they have not been able to do so far on their attacks. Walk in together and get the kills. And they didn't really do it in that round either. Silent got the 2 kills on Dragon, we see it right here. And the initial push was shut down immediately because there's no follow-up. He even swings deep into that area which is their office of T. But Foxay has been the mid-round hero in so many of these rounds, on defense and on attack, where he will find 1 or 2 kills to even back the man count, so that like 3 versus 3 or 2 versus 2, and then OXG defines success afterwards. It really is just like an entry duel issue for OXG right now. And also, if you look at the scoreboard, if you kill Snake or Silent or both, well, the races don't really account for that much. Eddie on 5 kills, Twist on a single, Asian on 6. Whereas if you look at OXG, okay, yeah, Yogg's on 15, but then you got 3 on Neuro who had a very slow game, 5 on Dream, 6 on Fish, 12 on Foxay. So it kind of is that 2 versus 2, but the difference is Silent and Snake are like the entry players and early gun duelers of LG versus like the mid to late round of Foxy and Yogg. So there is a chance that if the entries of OXG can kill out the, the high gunning players of LG, of Snake and Silent, all of a sudden you got the top gunners versus bottom gunners from OXG's favor.
LG waiting out this EE1D. We go back to office again. It was a close one. Theory holds, as we said earlier, and we've said in many, many matches, that go to the same bomb site again because you think that you can make some minor adjustments and ultimately come out on top. That's the hope here for Luminosity. If they're unsuccessful, that's the ballgame. No, XG wins in regulation. All 3 points are theirs. When it was OXG on defense, Luminosity on attack, OXG was giving LG ample opportunity to get these first picks with how aggressive OXG were off-site. Luminosity are not doing the same thing. A bit rude of them, some would say. Though LG is quite off-site. You see 3 players right now playing down by bedroom, playing down by house side. It works out. First blood technically goes in LG's favor, but it's answered right back. Yaga, an impressive 2-piece. Twist and Asian gone. If this really is the final round, it'll be a disappointing finish for Twist, who's on 1 and 10. Vertical play still here for LG. Oxygen reducing numbers on site. Eddie and Snake last alive. There goes Snake. 4 players from OXG all searching for the final kill. It'll be the clutch of Eddie's career. Time working against him. Retaking house stairs is a dangerous prospect. Even just making it to the top is uncertain, especially when there's going to be 4 people looking your way. Fish sees him and gets credited with the kill.